Yeah. There's a lot, yeah, I agree with Darren. There's a tremendous amount of freedom that comes in that because I'm not afraid of them anymore. I can go anywhere. And that's part of that loose garment thing. And everything gets really funny then. When you've made all those amends, oh, geez, it gets hilarious. Everything I know, you know what I'm talking about. There are like 5 different prayers in the readings on steps 8 and 9 that all say the same thing. And it's a willingness to do absolutely anything. Oh, there it is. Another big piece. This is a gift from my beloved Miss Linda. She calls it good amends. I'm pretty much aware, with my sponsor's help after step 5, of the places where I did damage. The thing that I don't see is where I owed thank yous. That's also a 9th step. And it's what Linda calls good amends. Who deserved to be thanked more than I thanked? Who's ever been genuinely overthanked? I didn't think so. Yeah. And so I went back to my major professor in college, and I thanked him for all the time he took with me and all I learned. I went to my first instructor pilot, who worked me like a borrowed mule because he saw greatness in my ability to fly, and he set up my Air Force career. I was the top of that the entire time I was in there, not through anything I did, but through the gifts that he gave me. And I was able to go back and thank him. I thanked my mother. My basic amends, I wasn't as good a son to you and I did some damage, need for me to be separated from this one. They don't need to happen together. And I sat with Mom and I told her what a great mother she was, and I realized the sacrifices she'd made, and I talked about her love and so on. And then I wrote her a letter about all of that. She died of Alzheimer's a few years ago. She didn't have much left. She still had that letter. I didn't get this information in time to thank Dad while he was still here, but I've done it. Who do you owe thanks to? Who deserved to be thanked more than they were? Phenomenal experience. Oh, you don't want to miss that one. I've had the experience, and everybody in this room who has sponsored, I would bet, has had this one. Somebody I sponsor has just asked me a question I did not know the answer to the moment before they asked the question. And I open my mouth and this beautiful piece of the great truth falls out. And 3 hours later, I can't quote it. And sometimes I cannot even remember what it was. And it's not because of the 60s and my age. It is because it wasn't of me. It was through me. And it wasn't for me. It was for him. Joe says he calls those things postcards from God. Dear Scott, you got to be doing something right or this wouldn't have happened. I got your back. Love God. Yeah. A lot of us have had those experiences. They're phenomenal. And it's yeah, I know. You know what I'm talking about. Phenomenal experience. That's one of the gifts of sponsorship. A piece of my own story. I can't do this as well as I can tell it. And I have an alter ego I call Saint Scott of the microphone. And I have been what the fellowship calls a circuit speaker for over 20 years. I have spoken in 48 states, I think. I think I've missed Delaware and Alaska is all. And I don't remember right now, I'm 8 or 10 foreign countries. I've done workshops all over the world. I have been the featured speaker at some of AA's biggest events. And I became enamored. This AA microphone can be a very dangerous thing. And I started making a step in a bad direction, and I couldn't tell anyone because I was too in love with my status. And I couldn't tell my sponsor, I couldn't tell anyone. And I took the first step in a bad direction. And having taken the first one and kept it secret, I was able to take the second step. And a year later, I was able to do something I could not have possibly done on the day I did the first one. And if I hadn't kept it secret, I don't think it could have gotten to that. They say your secrets will keep you sick. You're looking at it. And what eventually happened was that I violated my marriage vows. And Miss Linda divorced me, and rightly so. And I lived in hell for about 4 years. I don't know how to describe it any other way. Thank you again. Wall Street Dan took my guns. I screamed at God and asked if he hated me this much to take me out of here. I would do that 50, 100, 200 times a day over the course of a period of time. I didn't have a day for the first couple of years. I didn't ask God to take me home. And my life was just empty. And I dropped all the men I sponsored, and 3 or 4 of them refused to go away. They probably saved my life, and I think they did. And over the course of 3 or 4 years, I like to think I gained some humility. I hope so. And part of what I must do now as I approach a microphone is tell you this about me. I did that 25 years sober. And I've been around this thing some. And in January of this year, Miss Linda found forgiveness, and we've been together since the 1st of February. And praise God, it is really something. And I'm a different guy. I seem to be more gentle. I became impressed with God, the work that God was doing through me. And that's not a good place to be. And my mouth can say one thing, but boy, if my heart's thinking another, it gets real sick. And I like to think I'm a better tool for him than I was because of this. Because like anything else, it's just another mistake. It's just another mistake. It's an invitation to a lesson, and it's an opportunity maybe to be humbled, to receive the gift of humility. I hope so. I sincerely hope so.